For as long as humans have existed, we have looked to the night sky with awe and curiosity. The stars, the planets, the faint glow of galaxies, all of it seemed distant, untouchable, eternal. But now, the cosmos has delivered something far less poetic. Something real. Something dangerous. It began quietly, almost unnoticeably. Deep in the data streams of the James Webb Space Telescope, humanity's most advanced eye on the universe, astronomers spotted faint irregularities. Not bright streaks or obvious flashes, but distortions in starlight. Small, subtle shifts that at first looked like background noise. Yet the more carefully they examined the frames, the clearer the truth became. There was something out there. A massive, dark object drifting through space. Darker than any asteroid ever catalogued. It absorbed nearly all visible light, making it invisible to Earth's ground-based telescopes. To the naked eye, it wasn't even a shadow, it was nothing. But Webb's infrared detectors, tuned to catch the faintest warmth of distant galaxies, revealed its heat signature. Without Webb, it would have remained unseen until it was far too late. The initial data shocked scientists. Calculations suggested the object was several kilometers across. By comparison, the Tunguska blast of 1908, which flattened 2,000 square kilometers of forest in Siberia, came from something barely a fraction of that size. This was no local hazard. If it struck Earth, the consequences would ripple across the entire planet. And then came the second revelation, its trajectory. Unlike known asteroids with stable, predictable orbits, this body moved erratically. It wobbled, shifted, and spun as though tugged by unseen forces. Some theorized jets of gas venting from beneath its surface. Others suggested its internal structure was unstable, riddled with cavities or fractures. But one detail made it even more disturbing. This was no familiar visitor from the asteroid belt. Its chemical fingerprint revealed rare elements, metals and isotopes unlike those found in near-Earth objects. That meant only one thing. It had come from outside our solar system. Earth had seen interstellar wanderers before. Oumuamua in 2017. Borisov in 2019. Harmless, fleeting travelers. But this one was different. Its path didn't carry it past the sun. It carried it straight toward us. Within hours, NASA declared a red alert, the highest level of planetary defense readiness. Supercomputers ran simulations around the clock. Each update painted the same unnerving picture. An object on a collision course, with only razor-thin margins that might spare Earth. Depending on slight variations in spin, outgassing, or gravitational nudges, the difference between a near miss and an impact could be measured in hundreds of kilometers. The atmosphere inside mission control turned electric. Some projections showed it striking the ocean, sending mega-tsunamis roaring across coastlines. Others suggested landfall, an impact zone spanning continents. The world's governments were briefed behind closed doors. Debates raged over how, and when, to inform the public. Meanwhile, astronomers everywhere trained their instruments on the intruder. Data flowed in from Chile, from Hawaii, from orbiting satellites. And with each passing hour, the story deepened. The object wasn't silent. As sunlight struck it, faint plumes vented from hidden fractures. Its spin patterns shifted in ways too complex to be purely random. What at first looked like chaotic tumbling began to suggest order. Not engineered, perhaps, but strange. Some even whispered about the possibility of design. Officially, such speculation was dismissed. Privately, not everyone was so sure. Planetary defense options were reviewed at lightning speed. Could a kinetic impactor like NASA's DART mission, which had tested asteroid deflection just years earlier, be scaled up in time? Could nuclear devices shift its path without shattering it into a hail of smaller but still deadly fragments? Concepts once confined to white papers, gravitational tractors, directed energy beams, were dragged out of theory and into urgent discussion. But time was the enemy. Even the fastest launch vehicles needed months to prepare. And while Webb had given humanity the advantage of advance notice, the clock was ticking down relentlessly. Then came the leaks. At first, they were just whispers in small online astronomy forums, blurry charts, odd data points, whispers of something strange. Amateur astronomers, scanning the night sky with backyard telescopes, began noticing unusual voids. Tiny gaps where stars should have been, patches of blackness that swallowed the starlight behind them. To the untrained eye, it was nothing. But to those who knew the sky by heart, it was unmistakable. Something enormous was moving against the background of the heavens. As screenshots spread across the internet, speculation took flight. Some claimed it was an undiscovered asteroid, a dark wanderer finally caught in the spotlight. Others swore it was a rogue comet, its frozen surface masking its true size. And the most daring voices, the dreamers and the conspiracists alike, declared it proof of something more. An alien construct. A vessel. A machine adrift in the void. Governments rushed to contain the panic. Statements were drafted, denials issued, experts paraded onto television to calm the public. But the truth was out of their hands. The object had slipped into the collective awareness of humanity. It was no longer just a line of classified data in NASA's servers. It had become part of a global conversation. Yet the reality, when finally admitted, was not easier to accept. For all the rumors of visitors and technology, the truth was starker, colder, more terrifying. What Webb had found was not alive, not artificial. It was a relic. A fragment of the cosmos itself, ancient and immense. Born in the fires of stars that lived and died before Earth itself had formed. For billions of years it had wandered the empty gulf between galaxies, unseen and unknown, until fate had steered it toward us. And now, it was here. The James Webb Space Telescope had not been built for this. It had been designed as a time machine, a window into the first light of the universe, to watch galaxies being born at the dawn of creation. Instead, it had been forced into another role, not a historian of the cosmos, but a sentry. A watchtower. A guardian for an unsuspecting Earth. Without it, the dark intruder would have remained invisible until it was far too late. As the object closed the distance, humanity faced a question that no generation before had ever truly confronted. This was not a threat of our own making, not war, not climate, not disease. This was something greater, something older than humanity itself, the raw indifference of the universe. In mission control rooms, scientists worked without rest. In classrooms, teachers explained the situation to children too young to understand the scale of what loomed above them. Families at home debated what it meant, what should be done, and whether anything could be done. The question hung heavy everywhere. Would it miss us by a cosmic hair's breadth, leaving only the memory of fear? Would it shatter in the atmosphere, raining fire across continents? Or would it strike directly, rewriting the history of Earth in a single catastrophic moment? The world held its breath. The stars, once a source of wonder, now felt like silent witnesses to a trial of survival. And as the object crept closer with every passing day, only one truth remained certain: the sky itself had become a threat. And humanity, for the first time, stood face to face with the possibility that the universe was not just a cradle of life, but a reminder of how fragile that life truly is.